Physics.
It is physics, yeah.
It is physics.
How about geometry, James?
Ooh, that's tough.
Geometry is tough, because here's what happened.
Geometry is tough.
The other day, so we're out and about, and this guy, he's wearing a shirt with things from the like chemistry table.
Periodic table.
Periodic table.
But, yeah, close.
Mm-hmm. He walks up and I go, "So are you a big geometry guy?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "I meant chemistry." And he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, I am a big chemistry guy." And I go, "Oh, Breaking Bad fan?" He goes, "Not really, no." And I go, "Oh, well, life is but a dream," and we kept moving.
It was a very awkward moment. It was hilarious. Matt just looked over at me and was like, "So, you want to date? Because I don't think he's going to last much longer." Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Genius. That was a special one.
That'll
Sure
happen.
said genius, and we're like...
Matty Ice? Was this Matty Ice?
Matty Ice, yeah. I love that name, by the way. You just come up with
never
that.
called him?
Call him Matty Ice?
On the fly, you came up with
Little
that?
Matty Ice, yeah.
I love that.
Oh.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Natty Ice is...
Oh, I get it!
Matty Ice.
Natty Ice is the
I didn't get it until you just
can.
said Natty Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a wild drink that is. Jack wouldn't know because he
I
would
wouldn't
only have
know.
Mountain Dews and 7-Ups.
Yeah.
And
Baja
water.
Blast Zeros? Fire.
Fire gas.
I made sure I brought one of those.
Nothing's better than a cool Diet Coke, though. I'll tell you that much.
I could agree with that one.
Ugh.
I could agree with that.
Or
You like
even-
Diet Coke?
I hate Diet Coke.
Or even
Really?
better, Jack and Diet Coke.
Ooh.
No.
Jack and Diet Coke.
But I'm not a Coke person.
It actually,
Jack?
it was a good song.
What?
What's Jack?
I don't know.
Maybe if you're like drunk
It's an adult
at a,
drink, Jack.
like,
You need a few
youth
more
bar,
years. You know.
There's a bunch of 18 to 21-year-olds around. Like
I saw the Morgan Wallen vibe.
Yeah, he did have
Yeah.
him. I showed him the video of Red Fairy.
Morgan Wallen is better than that.
Oh,
Thankfully,
absolutely.
yeah.
He's pretty fired, though.
And he's got the mullet.
Yeah, but show me more
He does
fire
have a
songs.
mullet, which is fire.
Actually, I feel like some of his other ones are more fire. It's just like they don't have that
I would
many
like to know
listens.
which songs he has written
I guess
for artists.
from
And
what I
then be
saw-
like, okay, I can respect him now.
From what I saw, he wrote like a fair amount of stuff for like Florida Georgia line.
Oh, that's not surprising.
You know,
Yeah.
but BD.
I thought they were just like Florida line now, though, or Georgia. I'm making that up, but I thought they split up.
Oh, did they?
I thought so. Way back before I left Florida, I think.
Well, in other words,
Maybe not,
we
though. I
got
could be making
ourselves BDP episode 9,
Episode
featuring Vince Meza.
Almost double
Time is
digits.
flying, huh?
First time guest. We actually looked it up today, preparing for this pod. The first time we interchanged messages on Instagram, February 2019,
Wow.
over 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's when you were just a little yearling, a little fawn
A
in
young
the
buck.
industry.
1 year
yeah.
in.
Young buck.
Literally
Little
1 year.
button buck.
I know.
Button
Yeah.
buck. Not even a forky?
No,
Just a button buck?
2019 would have definitely been a button buck for him, I feel like.
Literally, I hadn't even, because we started the channel August 2018. So we didn't hit 1,000 subs till August 2019. So that means at that time we probably had like 400 subs.
Yeah, it was before you had 1,000.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
he believed in you before you were even, known.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope.
Nice.
And now he a big time YouTuber.
I don't know about big time, but
How many
it's starting to
subs?
come up. I think it's like 1,600 right now.
16 big.
Yeah, we're about
Damn.
we're about 2 years in.
Yep.
You know,
Films a lot of hunts.
Mhm.
I will say though, because he does a lot of rifle hunts, which isn't how I choose to hunt, so it doesn't count.
it does.
Yeah.
So unless it's
stick and string only.
unless it's
Yeah.
exactly how I do it, it doesn't count.
Oh
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Right. Got
even
it.
when I shoot a deer out of a pop-up line, myself doesn't count.
Mm.
Has to only be spot and stock on the ground.
For
Right.
sure.
It's
yeah.
only the keyboard warrior's way. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the only thing that matters.
Should have gave that
Whatever
deer
those
another 2
keyboard
years.
warriors say.
Oh, another 2 years, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's better to buy it at McDonald's. That's the
meat?
best way. Yeah.
Mm.
hmm
It's more ethical,
Yes, for sure.
for sure.
Mhm. They live a better life there at the
100%.
McDonald's farm.
Shout out
It's
to
like a playground for them,
Shout out to Ronald McDonald,
Oh, I was like, what are you
In the
talking about there?
hamburger.
in the hamburger. That's right,
The
the, dude who
hamburger.
wore the prison
Do you
suit.
remember
forget
back
him.
in the
I
day? Yeah.
forgot about him.
They had they had a whole team. Of
Was there
Ronald
more
McDonald's.
than just
There
Ron
were?
and the burglar?
Yes.
There was the dude who was like blue, right? Wasn't there like the Cookie Monster or something?
Oh, the
No,
Cookie
that's
Monster. That's
different, but-
Sesame Street, I think.
That's
But didn't
nice.
they have like a version of that for McDonald's?
They did have other
Probably,
characters. It was the burglar was the one with the little mask. There were other ones though. I'm almost certain of it because you could get their little caricatures. And it was before they got rid of playgrounds, because now those are unsafe and unhealthy.
And unsanitary,
and
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Some places still have them, but not too often.
Very rare. I think the only place I ever see one at is maybe like a closed-in Burger King.
Yeah, they'll
Sometimes
have them
have 'em.
still.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the one out in Alpine, McDonald's out in Alpine, still has one.
A playground?
I think so.
That's nice.
I would love to film a video where we take
Let's
James
go tear it up
to a
after this.
McDonald's
Hey, let's scrap
playground.
PB and go to the Burger King in
Let's
Alpine.
do it. Yeah.
That would be funny.
And then we got
James
Jack
in the
here.
ball pit.
Jack Peterson. That's not a MAGA hat. That's a
MAGA?
Unfortunately, it's not.
That's
MAGA.
a MAGA hat.
MAGA.
That's a pump station. hat.
MAGA.
Pump station.
All day long, baby.
All day long.
All day
We're gonna
long.
get canceled
Right
for
in the
that.
pump.
In fact, if you use code PUMPSTATION, all caps, on aimforapassthrough.com, you can get the stabilizer for 10% off.
Woo.
And if you use it on deercrossingarchery.com, you can get the arrows for 15% off. I'm just saying. Or podiumarcher.com. Any archery product, 10% off.
It's a lot of percent.
A lot of percent.
Those stabilizers are sick.
They are sick.
I do like that.
Dude.
Especially when you're carrying a bow around.
Mhm.
The
We've already
kickstand.
seen one in the wild since his code came out at
Several.
Morley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And at Balboa. I saw one too.
That's what I mean. No.
Both
Oh, you saw one at
Balboa
Balboa?
and Morley, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They
I
technically are both Balboa.
Yeah, they are.
Technically, yeah.
That's true.
Have
Yeah.
you ever tried the sling, the bow sling or anything?
I have
No.
one. The Sling-a-Ling.
Do you like that? Yeah, the sling.
I
That's
don't
right.
like it. To be
No?
quite frank with you, it's kind of gets in the way. It
Like
pops
carrying a
off of the
purse or
magnet.
something?
It's I rarely pop it out and use it. You know, it's
Yeah.
almost just as easy to carry it in your hand. You know.
I feel like if I were, then you gotta make sure to either take it off when you go on a stalk or something.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't, I feel like if I had to go to a crawl like that stalk we just did,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to hop this thing across rocks, and then I'm like,
Catch
let me get the
everything.
Yeah.
swingling off this rock or this yucca. That's just way more to think about than I would want to think about.
My uncle's been running the bow spider.
Mm.
And that
Ooh,
thing
that
is
was
pretty
one of those.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It clicks into your belt buckle or your backpack, whatever you're doing.
I am a
It's-
big fan of that.
Yeah.
Actually, those are compatible with the stabilizers as well.
Are they?
You can route them out of here, so that way the attachment's right here, and you clip it to your belt or whatever. That's what Matt does. So it's pretty cool, yeah. But I was curious now that we got Vince here. I want to know, other than obviously me being a huge inspiration for YouTube, what made you want to do YouTube?
So I started it. Well, I've always had family, friends, like, dude, film your stuff. You post pictures, and they wanted to see the behind the scenes type of thing, and everything like that. So that was kind of what pushed me to it. And then just wanting to save something like a vault or like a memory bank for my dad and myself, my cousin, because we always hunt together. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a camera. And then my cousin, her husband, was selling a camera at the time. So it kind of worked out perfectly. So I was like, he gave me a pretty good deal on it. I was like, you know what? I'll just run this thing. I'm still running that same camera for 2 years now. So, but I am looking for a new camera because I think the camcorder is the way to go.
Are you
I agree.
what a what
The
are they called?
DSLR.
DSLR.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, me and James differ on this all the time, but I guess I say it depends on what you're filming, but there are hunters out there who run DSLR.
Mhm.
Most
But
of
I think, like we talked to Dead Aim Outdoors, is that what it's called?
Oh, I've seen those guys.
I have no idea, maybe.
The ones that, the turkey tune-up, he shoots, like, right here. We talked to him at the...
Deadhead Archery.
Deadhead Archery.
Yeah,
Dead
shout
Aim's
out
in it,
Deadhead
though.
Archery. Took me a while to get there, but yeah.
Dead something was in there. They run DSLR, but he was talking about how, like, you have to know, like, you can't run it in auto. He's like, I run it in manual, and I, like, learned all the settings and whatnot, so, like, you got to be able to change the exposure quick if you, like, hand off the
that's
camera.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, and if you're good at that, I personally think it's great. It is heavier and whatnot to pack, but I think it's phenomenal. Like, it depends on if you're a film versus a sound person. I'm a film person. Like, I want to see, like, quality in the imagery.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big fan of them. But James, return on investment is, like, not that high. Like, more people love sound.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's better to run something small like this. And we dropped on the ground I don't know how many times, and they've held up.
I don't think mine would. If I dropped that thing on the ground.
That's what I mean. This
Lens
season they
is
got
gone.
expensive
Lens
lenses.
is done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one factor. Is it's not even you can get great sound out of a DSLR too, if not better. You can get the same sound. The The only difference really with a DSLR you're going to get is more depth to field.
Yeah.
So like
And
your
that's what I'm a
subject's
fan
in
of.
focus, the background's
The
blurred,
f-stop or whatever
the
they call it.
f-stop,
Yeah.
but a camcorder is certainly better in a couple of ways. One, they're better because they're more compact, easier to pack, more durable, cheaper.
Usability.
They're much easier
Yeah.
to use.
And
That's
even
the
the-
biggest thing.
That's the
'Cause I could
toughest
go
part,
with someone I've
honestly.
never filmed with in my life,
Mhm.
and I could go, "Hey, can you film this clip?" All they have to do is just
Hold
open
it,
it and hit a button.
Point name.
And
That's it.
even the I think that I would say probably the second biggest like con of DSLR is like zoom feature,
Yep.
zoom ability. So like without throwing like sitting there and popping off
Mhm.
because I have huge lenses that I've used for work. Unless you're popping on a giant lens, you're not zooming 700 yards to whatever animal you just glassed up, and that's like at a minimum, you know.
Yeah.
So, like his camera, I didn't even think about this that year, the one you wanted to see out there in
Mhm.
the living room, 7x5. Like, I could have filmed his whole hunt, and
With
I
the-
didn't think
yeah.
about it with that camera because
Yeah.
he was close enough for me to zoom in, even though it was far. Didn't think about it at all. Like, it would have been still like a ways, but enough that you could have seen him moving. You could have seen the deer stand up. Like, your ability to zoom in on those and keep 4K quality
Yep.
versus DSLR, like.
Well, saying that,
I'm checked out right now. I just hear camera, blah, blah, blah.
He's
It's
like,
a whole
let's get
different
to some
language.
hunting,
Yeah,
some
exactly.
YouTube, some music talk.
Well,
because of that, I have to bring a spotting scope with me
and film
Yeah.
through
and
that.
film.
Mhm.
I mean, when we're doing our archery hunts, yeah, you can get away with the DSLR. I think mine's like an 18 to 105 or something like that.
Mhm.
So always say 100 yards is the max, which is
Yeah.
typical archery. I mean, right in there, under 100
Yeah,
yards.
good enough
right?
for somebody else to film
Yeah.
with you if you're on a stop.
But when
together
you're
or
rifle
something.
hunting, because we do a lot of rifle hunts, I have to bring the spotting scope and my
Yeah.
phone scope. Or I run the all-in system, and Steve modified a little piece, for me, so we
Of
can
course,
just
yeah.
magnet it on right there,
Yeah.
and it just makes it another camera you have to use basically.
Yeah.
Compared to running like a camcorder where you can just shoot. I mean, you could bring a GoPro and just another shot angle, right?
See, but I bought a GoPro and I
'cause
still
you
haven't
just
thrown
hit
it
and
on.
go. Just press it and set it up. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And I think another thing I always say is that if I was going to be filming a lot of reviews and stuff inside or from close distances, then a DSLR is nice to have in the fold. And I wouldn't mind getting one eventually. For a lot of the stuff I film, it would work great. But then there's other stuff I film where for sure I would rather have the camcorder. So it's good to have the option. But I think for a lot of people that do what we do and film hunting and stuff outdoors and at far distances, I really think a lot of people should be using camcorders that are using DSLR because that's what you see everyone using. So you're just like, that's what I got to use. But I think it would actually be better if they were using like the Sony FDR-AX53s because these are really good cameras. They're 4K cameras, or you can film in 10K at 60 frames. But one of the big benefits of filming 4K is, to Brianna's point, if on that stock where I was across on the next hill stalking this deer, she could have filmed it all the way zoomed in, and then if that wasn't tight enough, I can still blow it up 2-3 more times and
Right.
still
Go to
keep great
1080p.
quality, So, I don't know, but it's fun. So, you started it as like a journal.
Basically,
That's what I started it as.
the journal, and then it just kind of took off a little. I mean, I wouldn't say took off. I mean, we're only at 1,600, so I wouldn't say took off.
That's still big,
But
though.
I stay on it. We hunt enough to where it's like, okay, I can post this stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I still watch my own videos. I mean,
Mhm.
that might be kind of corny, I guess.
No,
but I like
don't
looking
think so.
back and,
No, that's
and
good
seeing, the hunt and, refreshing the memory of how it all went down and just living it over again.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I wish I had some of my hunts on film. It's cool what you guys do, and it's definitely something that would be fun to get into, but
You look
Seems-
ridiculous.
seems
man.
expensive.
He looks
Yeah.
ridiculous.
the shades,
You
don't like
look
the
like
shades?
you're blind, bro. No
but
hate
it's
on
the
people that are blind.
$6 Amazon shades.
Yeah, no, Amazon makes phenomenal shades. That's what
We
I
got
like.
Stevie Wonder on the podcast.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Stevie Wonder, exactly.
Exactly.
It's fire though, buddy.
Yeah, and we need to whip you out of
I put them on.
piano
I
right
can't
now.
take them off at this point.
No, you gotta keep
Yeah,
them
I gotta
on.
keep
Just
them
run
on.
it now.
I actually love
Yeah.
it. What's your favorite video y'all have made? Maybe people watching the pod can go check it out. All the videos, which one's your favorite? If you were going to send people down the rabbit hole.
I don't know. I like them all. Is that bad to say?
No.
But I think that Coos deer hunt that I recently did, you know, because I've always wanted to shoot a Coos deer. The first time I saw one or really saw like a nice mature buck was last January. And after that, I was like, I want to shoot one of those things.
Yeah.
I almost got in with my bow. It didn't work out. Those things they are top notch. I mean, the fact that you have one up there and you shot that thing with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
What are you running as far as your rifle right now?
I run
Arizona?
SIG SHR 970 and a 7 mag. So I do
This
my
is
own
where I
reloads.
put the sunglasses.
Yeah.
You guys
Trade,
get into
right?
it here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, here we go.
Do you only shoot archery or do you
No,
do
I do a
rifle?
little bit of both for sure.
Okay.
I run when I hunt rifle, I usually use an .6
Mhm.
Winchester, just classic. My uncle gave it to me a
Right,
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bree over there.
Have you ever picked up the old freaking smoke?
I've
or
shot
no?
one doe with a rifle.
Yeah.
That's
And then
that's
like, nah, this is too easy.
That's the
huh?
only thing I've shot with a rifle. Yeah, it was on a
Yeah.
food plot, on a
Now I got
WMA, on a
Stevie
drawn
Wonder
tag.
on my side.
She was
What-
actually pregnant. She had twins. They
What
were
kind
both
of-
does.
What kind of glass are you running on your rifle?
Just a Vortex HSLR.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I would have got something like
Something
a
a little
razor,
nicer.
something
Yeah.
a little crisp, more crisp, especially when you're shooting long range, like over 500 yards.
Mhm.
I mean, when I shot that Coos deer, and we got a shot in what was that, October?
Mhm.
That was 525, and even looking at that thing
Oh.
through there,
Yeah.
it's like you're shooting at a jelly bean.
Little dot. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, you dial in, you hold,
Right.
and you're like, all right there, and just squeeze, and then
Yeah.
But you're shooting at a target
Yeah.
that's so small.
Yeah, like my uncle always says that you could have a $1,000 rifle and you put a $200 scope on it,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth a shit. But if you put a $1,000 scope on a $200 rifle, it's going to perform much better than
Glass is
vice
everything.
versa. It is. It
So-
really is.
That's one of the things. It's like you pay for what you get.
That
right there.
yeah, absolutely, and it usually lasts
Mhm.
forever. It's a
Unless-
great investment for
Yeah.
sure, and not just in rifle hunting, and bow hunting too, with binos and spotting scopes. And oh, here she goes,
I'll try-
coming
Here we
along.
go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'll chime in here. I do agree because I feel like this popped up occasionally on podcasts and other conversations and videos. Like, people shit on rifle hunters a lot.
Yeah,
And
Let me
it's
have
like,
it. Give it to me.
yeah, well, see, I'm not gonna shit on you because so you'll hear like the comments could be right now. Oh, well, you got $1,000 scope on there. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
You know, just because you got $1,000 scope on there, like I can run $1,000, or $2,000 bow with a $500 release with a $650 sight. That does not mean I'm gonna be
oh,
good.
absolutely.
If I just sit there and go,
That's me.
Yeah.
ain't gonna be that good. So like there's still something that goes into goes into the Joel Turner stuff, like that goes into the shot process.
Absolutely.
Whether it's guns or bows, that like if you're
Squeeze the
just
trigger.
popping off, it doesn't mean because you got $1,000 sight you're gonna shoot a buck from 525 yards and actually hit it. So it's funny how like people shit on because that conversation comes up, like shit on rifle hunters. It's like, no, there's still technique.
Absolutely.
On top of the fact that, like, if you handed me your rifle right now, we're like, get it done. I don't care if I were 100 or 500, maybe 100, because I wouldn't maybe have to do so much to the dial. But, like, if you, like all right, there's a deer at 500 yards, like, dial it, and she'll be like, dial what? Like, there's stuff that goes into, like,
6.5
windage and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm like,
Got a 12-mile.
I don't know, the
yeah,
wind's
yeah.
going this way, so I'm going to hold the
Yeah.
gun this
Yeah.
way. I don't know. Like, there's still knowledge, just like archery, that
Yeah.
goes into
With
rifle hunting.
Any form of hunting, so many things can go wrong that you
Yeah.
have to account for and
Easily.
you have to adjust for. And even if you do everything right, there's still no guarantee. And,
And
that's
then you
the-
throw filming into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
I've-
imagine.
I've missed- I've missed more opportunities with my bow trying to film than with my rifle, obviously, because you're out further, right?
Right.
But with the bow, oh my gosh, trying to
Mhm.
film too.
Well, the thing is, like, it doesn't matter, to Jack's point, like, regardless of what type of hunting you're doing, whether it's archery,
100%.
muzzleloader, rifle, pistol, like, the weapon you have doesn't find the animal for you.
No.
No,
You
that is
still
true.
got to have the
That is
skill to
true.
find the animal.
Doesn't close that
Get
distance.
to within range, then know how to use your equipment, whether that's, the Bowtech or the Ruger. Like, you got to know how to use it regardless, but it doesn't matter. You show someone who's never hunted at all in their whole life, maybe an anti, for example, and you're like, oh, you think hunting's easy? Send them out on a rifle hunt. They're not even going to see shit.
Nope.
You know, they're not
still
going
gonna find it.
You got to have the skill to find the animal, get close. Because even on a rifle, you might see something from 2,000 yards away and say you got it close to 600. That's still not
You're not
easy.
a dang sniper. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know.
So I always think it's pretty goofy when people are like, "Oh, that way of hunting is ass." Like, and that happens whether you're a bow hunter or a rifle hunter.
No matter what, there's
Everybody's-
tree
there's always
stand sitter
haters.
versus.
But a
you
lot
know,
of people just
spawn
kind of want to
stalker.
be. A lot of people just like are bored at home and want attention,
Keyboard
and that's why
warriors,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
They haven't
warriors.
tried it, so.
Could you
It's not-
imagine
it's
being
not
like?
hard.
I always think about someone who's like truly, like really, like famous. Like think about Drake, right? When he drops an album or something.
Yeah.
You know how many people shit on For All the Dogs, his last album? Of course they do, including Brianna,
Millions.
which is
What?
fine.
Hate
Which is-
Drake's
Oh,
music.
come on.
Hate it with a passion.
Which is fine, right? You have the right to hate
To
on
each
it.
their own.
But then
To
that,
each
yeah,
their
to
own.
each
Yeah.
their own.
but imagine being him, reading the comments of some dude being like, "This is so ass." He's like,
I do
"Are
that.
you talking shit
Yeah.
about me?"
Yeah, no, he
Huh?
don't care. He
Yeah,
don't, yeah.
what-
He
what-
could fly out anybody in the world over to his house for one night
Yep.
on a private jet.
Yep. So it's like, it took work to get to that place, just like it took Vince work to get to 1,600 subs, or me work to get to 40,000 subs, or whatever. Like, it takes work.
Subtle little flex.
Little bit. I did that. I did
This is
Come
on,
man.
Oh,
man.
You know, no, but my point is, like, it take work
Four
to
more
get.
years, Vince. 4 more years.
It take work to get wherever you are in anything.
Absolutely.
So I just think
That's
it's
true.
I just think it's goofy when people like discredit anybody trying to do something.
I just
Right.
had this conversation with a buddy who, you know, I saw him when he started from nothing, you know, and I was never the guy like, nah, dude, that's a stupid idea. Like, don't do that, you know. I don't want to be the guy that crushes somebody's dream, you know. It's like, yeah, you could do it. Like, people fail because they stop, they quit, right?
100%.
So that's why I always tell everybody, just keep going. Just keep going, you know.
100%. As long as you're not, going bankrupt or doing some
Or being a
super
sleazeball or a
irresponsible
dirt
stuff.
ball, you know.
And those do exist.
Oh,
For
they
sure.
do exist.
Those do
yeah.
exist,
Mhm.
but like I just think it's cool. Like when your circle is people that are actively trying to progress in life, whether that's like progress in fitness or in work or in business or like any sort of endeavor, those are never the people that are gonna
Yeah,
like talk
exactly.
shit ever.
Yeah.
It's the people that are bored with nothing going on.
Mhm.
And honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but I feel bad for him. I mean, I just showed you guys the message that guy on Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
your content's trash. His first message ever to me. Your content's trash. All right. Like, what?
Then, he doesn't feel like he's vindicated for what he
Yeah.
said, so he's got to follow it up with another
And then
tone.
you-
Out to my
Maybe I'll go
40,000
to
subs.
here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe I'll
Evidently.
go unfollow.
Yeah, but it's funny because, like, to your point, that doesn't fill the void. Like, when
Right.
I respond like that, it's like, that's not the reaction I wanted. Let me try again. And then when you do it again and you just are like, kind, like Vince said, kill them with
Kill 'em
kindness.
with kindness.
Be kind, then what do? Eventually they're like,
Then they throw a compliment right after that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, dude, you're just trying to shit on me
Yeah.
now. You know?
Or you know that like the people that like do that, if they were to meet you in person, they're gonna be
They'd be
cool.
either quiet as a mouse,
Or cool.
or
Yeah.
they'll, be cool.
Or
And
cool.
it's like, well,
Mhm.
that's not how you really
There's
feel.
a lot of
so-
people who will just say whatever they feel like behind a screen, but then as soon as they're in
Of
person,
course.
they just
Yeah.
Yep.
zip it, lock it, and
Wonder
put it
why-
in their
I wonder-
pocket, dude.
That is interesting, but I think about that often with people that are like mega famous, like Brad Pitt or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Brad Pitt has a lot of haters. You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't have haters, you're not doing something.
Then you're
Yeah.
being too basic. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of saying like your life is not to shit on anyone who doesn't have haters, but that's kind of saying like you're living a very safe
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily pushing any boundary because I feel like when you push a boundary or do something irregular, that's when you'll get the pushback.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, nobody wants to see somebody doing better than them.
Mhm.
And that's
That's true.
unfortunate.
That's
You
the
know.
reality of it, though.
Because the biggest thing is surround yourself with like-minded people. That's huge, right? And people who, what do they say? All rising tides raise all boats, or something like that.
Yeah.
You should know
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, I do that. I think you said
How
a
many-
rising tide raises all
boat.
ships.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What did that one guy say that one time where he's all, how long's the rope on the boat?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Sorry, I didn't want to open
Brianna
that.
did
How
have a
many
hater.
ropes are on a boat?
Brianna had a hater
Or
one
some
time.
shit.
She
I'm
did.
like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
apparently, you know, you're a little outdated because we don't even talk about that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that is not a test question to get into the Navy. How many
For some
ropes
reason,
are
that
on
just-
a
I
boat?
just
Dude,
forgot
I
about
forgot
that.
about
I
that.
forgot all about
that.
that,
actually
man.
was crazy, though. But, dude, speaking of, like, this topic, I think is kind of relevant and fun is... Last night I was watching this YouTube interview with Shaun White. And Shaun White obviously made it, like, as high as you possibly can in an action sport. Like, he made it mainstream... won Olympic golds, X Game golds, like in skateboarding and snowboarding, and snowboarders hate him. They hate Shaun
He's
White.
also one, didn't they like call him like Yellow Top or Carrot Top?
Carrot
or
Top.
something?
Or- yeah, 'cause he had red
the
hair.
long hair.
Was,
Yeah.
was that the same dude?
Yeah,
He's
Carrot
significantly
Top's a
gotten-
comedian, but they
Oh, that's
look
right, right,
similar.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, it was
He
pretty
got that
wild
with
because
his hair.
in this they were discussing like why people hate him, and they were like, basically, he blew up so big that he showed up to this event, and this is really what started the beef with like him and the other snowboarders. He showed up, all those guys went out and partied. They were in Japan, and they all like went out that night, stayed up late, and they woke up in the morning and said, hey, talked to the contest promoter, said, hey, we just want to split the money evenly among the placings. And everyone agreed to it except Shaun White, because he did not go out, went to bed early. He brought his whole family with him, and they were poor. So he's like, I have to like win money to bring my family. He goes, no, I don't agree with that. So they ran the contest. Normally, he won $150,000, and and then he signed with Red Bull and Oakley, and then like Target, and they're like, oh, he's not core. He's a sellout. Meanwhile, he's just the best guy, and he's more responsible than you. I'm like, it was just like exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But he had haters just because he blew so far past all the dudes sitting there being core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a snowboarding word or something?
Yeah, core. It's like
Right.
you're not hanging out at the slopes, like
Yeah.
saying,
For sure,
you know,
bro.
cracking coal and
Shredding the
smoking
pow-pow.
the
Yeah.
reefer.
Yeah.
I would know nothing.
But
about
it's funny
this.
because that's the same shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
I just think it's goofy.
Everyone's gonna have haters.
I think it's fun to talk about, though.
Yeah.
They are
It is.
fuel.
It's interesting.
It is.
You know,
It's kind of like,
I just had a guy comment on the video that I just posted, the tag my dad drew. It takes, I'm not gonna lie, it takes 10, 12 points to draw it for California, and he shot a 3x3. It wasn't a monster by any means for what that unit was, but it was a super weather dependent unit, and we didn't have snow, so when we hunted it for 5 days, and that was probably the second best buck we saw. The first best buck we saw goes up and over the mountain. We're like, all right, we're gonna sit that basin all day long. Never saw him. Never picked up a single deer. Next morning, we're like, all right, we're going to go into where we think he went. And we saw another buck that was good, 200 yards away. And opportunity was there, and boom, smoked him. So, but the guy was like, yeah, you guys spent all that time trying to draw that tag. You could have shot a 30-inch deer. I'm like,
why can't you just say
Yes.
good job?
yeah,
Yeah, right?
Congratulations.
I got mean.
And there's so many
Like, how hard is that? To
there's
just be
so
like, good
many
job?
variables that
Or
go
just
into
say
it.
nothing. Either say
Nothing.
nothing or say congratulations.
Yeah,
One of them.
whatever.
Maybe just like the video.
Yeah.
Maybe subscribe.
Oh,
Right,
subscribe.
exactly.
Subscribe to
Speak-
Meza Outdoors and also Bodisciples
Of
podcast
course.
channel, because we need to get this sucker monetized.
Mhm.
This is a lot of work to make these pods.
It is.
So if you're
It
watching,
is.
help me earn like some money on them by just subscribing.
just subscribe.
That's
Pay
all
for
you
the
gotta
water in his cup.
Speaking
Yeah, this is water. Yes.
Speaking of haters,
Killing me here.
if you guys don't know, I'm sure most of you don't, but I run my own detailing company, JP Scrubs.
Plug.
Find it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Send me a DM. I'll wash your car. We'll get something
He
figured
actually
out.
has merch too. I
I
have
do.
some.
I do. You can buy some merch, whatever you want to do. Anyways, I post basically monthly on Nextdoor. That's essentially where all my marketing comes in from. Just saying what I do, how much I charge, the zone that I wash cars in, because I don't want to go too far, right? In one of these posts, maybe a month or so ago, I had this this lovely woman called Margaret Chapman comment.
I love the name
You
shout
know,
out
it's
there.
Margaret,
It's
Karen,
Margaret
Chapman.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like she's gonna be a
It's hard to trust a 17-year-old with a $140,000 vehicle, ... And I said, Margaret, here are a few of the cars that I've been trusted to wash, in quotes. All worth significantly more than your $140,000 vehicle. I sent her a video. I sent her a video of me washing vintage Shelby Cobra, an Aston Martin, a McLaren, all of these things. And then I had some repeat clients.
I give you that one right there. I like that.
I had some repeat clients commenting. I trust Jack. He's a decent guy. Jack's washed my cars every month now for the last 6 months. He does a great job. Whatever. And then here's what happened. My girlfriend's dad, whose cars I washed all their family's cars, he commented with the most savage reply, because I had to keep things somewhat professional on the Nextdoor post. You know, I can't be going off on her. Matthew Dart, my girlfriend's dad, comments, I trust 17-year-old Jack before I trust Margaret. Who is Jack? A kid that graduated CCA a year early, is in college, and started his own business on the side. A business owner with many satisfied customers, including the $150,000 McLaren, who's a repeat customer. Jack also washes the cars at my house and does an awesome job. On the other hand, who is Margaret? Presumably an adult and not someone I know personally, but she reviewed a 17-year-old's post offering his services, decided to check out his Instagram, decided it wasn't for her, which is her prerogative, but then went back to Nextdoor to post negative and critical replies based on her pure speculation that he may be scratching cars. Seriously, and with all due respect, what the F, Margaret?
Hey, he said with all due respect.
That's good.
That's some serious BS.
What a reply.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not done.
Not done yet. Bottom line in life: be more like Jack and less like Margaret. And if you need a wash, give Jack a call.
Preach on. Preach
So,
on.
That is
What
excellent.
a guy.
That's like if you have
That's funny.
if you have controversial posts, you'll have haters for sure. And hunting, let's be real, it's pretty controversial, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
But you'll
on
also have
YouTube.
people who will support you
100%.
tooth and nail. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
that's what it really comes down to. Like
Yep.
your fans are with you. You know.
100%. 100%.
YouTube Shorts though, they when it gets to everybody, you'll get
Actually,
right.
you know the worst social media platform for haters by far, because I post on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Facebook is the worst.
Really?
Oh
Really?
my god.
Well, I don't post.
Interesting.
Facebook. I don't post on
Facebook is
Think of the
nasty,
age
bro.
range that uses each. So Instagram is meant for the younger, like
Millennials, yeah.
Gen Zers
Gen Z,
and whatnot.
yeah.
Facebook has been around for
Long
a minute
time,
now.
Yeah.
And it typically probably, I'd say, ranges from like your major range is probably like 30 plus.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
these are your grown adults who, if they wanted to do something, never succeeded in it, or are averagely set in whatever job field they're set in now.
That is true.
So they get on there and they see these younger, aka the same age as them,
Mhm.
people doing what they probably wish that they were doing as
That's
their
what-
full-time
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
That's big.
And
That's the
they
key.
immediately
That's
are
big.
jealous, and they think that they have succeeded more than them, so now they're immediately upset. And they just go on these rants. And it's like, I mean, like, even to, like, again, no difference in women, men, whatever, but, like, such, like, obnoxious things. Like, the one that comes to mind is the one about Whitney with the arrow. It was like, do you know how
Oh, she
many
got
arrows are lost
destroyed,
at
bro.
attack by people, women and men? Oh, I mean, the majority of people who shoot are men. So the majority of those arrows, we can then say, who are men's out there.
Yeah.
And she got destroyed because she had, I think, was down to, like, maybe her last two or maybe ran out. I don't remember. She picks up some random arrows, like, around the same
They're
length as
already
hers.
lost.
That's
by
a
the way.
gamer.
They're,
already
yeah,
trying to stay in
they're
the game.
already
Right in on
lost.
that.
Yeah, you're
you know?
already left them on the mountain. Like,
Yeah.
those people are not looking for the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
She finds
Shoots
it.
it. And these people go off.
How dare you
How
waste
d-
someone else's
Women
property?
out there just taking whatever they think is theirs
Yeah.
and blah. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Jealousy is
Wild.
nasty.
Bro, it was crazy
Yep.
too because Rebecca, I posted a short of her shortly after. Or maybe before.
Oh, this girl's more fit than most men in the world.
Bro, she's
like,
crazy fit. She strokes 65 pounds on her Matthews. Like, is a actual.
Dang,
she's a welder by trade, bro. Like, that's her job.
yeah, a
Get
welder.
this. People are commenting. Some guys are like, oh, like, stupid women. She should stay in the kitchen. I'm like, bro, she would
Mop
whoop
you
your
up.
ass, number one.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
number two,
Anywhere
I
else.
guarantee she a harder hunter than you.
Yeah.
A better shooter. And probably pulls more draw weight, you little bitch. You know? Like, shut up.
This
like,
woman would beat your
yeah,
ass.
Rebecca's so sweet too. Like she's so sweet, and these dudes who never met her are shitting on her, and I'm like, that's crazy. It was
Yeah.
funny because most people don't like know we do the Facebook, but I saw she had commented, and I was like, you don't want to read the. I texted her, I was like, don't read those comments. She goes, no, I did. I thought it was fun, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's the
Good
attitude.
spirit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, James, unfortunately, like, I wish I was sometimes, not involved on camera, so I could just be like that back behind the screens person who nobody
Intern Evan.
knows. Yeah, and go back to intern
OG.
Evan.
Shout out,
Yeah,
intern
OG
Evan.
intern Evan.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I see these comments. And I can't remember for the life of me. I wish I could, because there was one that really finally set me off one day, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna comment back, and she's like, no, you cannot, you can't do that, and I'm like,
PR.
come
I'm the PR.
on.
And the PR.
I'm also her
and the HR guy.
Oh, dude, I'm the HR guy and the PR
It was
guy.
guy.
HR data.
I'm
for
her
sure.
contract guy now.
Yeah.
She working on a couple little brand deals, and she read me like the first thing that they said, like, this is what we want to do. I said, nope, you're not doing that one. You're gonna
Yeah.
call them. You're gonna have a good talk. You're gonna blah blah blah. So I'm kind of the brand manager, but Brianna's a beast because she does all like everything that's not a video.
She was grinding when I came here.
Yeah, that she does
Yeah.
all
I'm
that
antsy about
stuff.
how much is left to still do. I got a
Yeah.
notepad for
So
it
she
from
does
my
like
phone.
all the flyers, all the visual like imagery. She does like all
YouTube,
that
except
stuff.
for the rare time that I'm like, I don't feel like doing.
Do you edit
James,
or do you
just
do all
it.
that?
I do all that.
All the
editing.
video editing's on.
But she does all the photos and graphics usually. But yeah, yeah,
Makes the
it-
dream
Makes the
work.
dream work, baby.
It adds up. You know what's funny though, and I think this is like what's cool. I never feel like it's working ever. Like working
what
on
it's
the
all about.
website,
Yeah.
editing a video.
Mhm.
I never feel it's. A
I
burden.
enjoy it.
Me too.
I enjoy it.
Me too.
100%. I like editing. It's creative.
Yeah.
Puts you in a different mindset. You got to think about things and
Mhm.
make it the way you want it, or like how you think the viewer would want to see it.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy the
Yeah.
finished product.
Yeah.
For
Watching
sure.
the videos.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's nice.
For sure.
I don't have to do anything. Just sit
You just wait till
on the
BD
toilet,
challenge.
in bed,
Is that,
whatever.
do you watch YouTube on your
Of
phone
course,
or
of
on the
course.
TV?
On the phone, typically.
See, I'm a
I do
TV
both.
guy.
Yeah, I do both.
I'm a TV guy.
Yeah, I do both.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably because we watch more YouTube on TV.
I watch
like-
YouTube more than Netflix, for sure.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
always pulling up YouTube. Same with Nick Coleman, like,
Mhm.
he's like me. We are, like, I would say 80% of what we watch is YouTube.
YouTube?
on the
You can
TV.
go down some deep rabbit holes.
Oh
on
my
YouTube.
gosh.
bro.
Tell me about it.
I was
I'll
watching
start
this
at like
video.
10 p.m. All of a sudden, it's 2 a.m. on
Yeah.
YouTube.
How did I get here?
What was
Dude,
I
you gotta
doing?
watch this guy called Y-Files on YouTube.
I
A
haven't
little
seen
weird.
that.
He films this like wow videos,
Talks
but he
to
filmed this one
animated
about
fish.
the book of Enoch. It's like a deleted book from the Bible. Bro, this video's wild. You gotta watch it.
Is it
but
long?
It's like an hour. His videos are long.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, his videos are long. But my question, kind of transitioning back to hunting, so everyone watching this doesn't just check out.
Yeah.
Actually, I
we
think
might have already.
No, I don't think
Come
so.
back in.
I think it'll be fun. I think
Play.
We've had some laughs.
I think the reason why this podcast is doing well in the space is because it's not just like, what poundage do you shoot?
It's organic.
That's
It's
the point.
organic. It's real organic.
It is.
Yeah.
Going with the flow.
Going with the flow.
All I'm saying was in the phone call, someone
Which-
had mentioned
not
how
that
like
there's
they had
anything
just
wrong
done a
with
podcast, and though it was a Zoom one, there was no like setup and questionnaire beforehand to get to know you and tell you about what the pod is gonna be about, and then it wasn't just interview style; it was just very relaxed. I think that's what makes the biggest difference is like when it's just conversational, like. No one's talking over each other necessarily because, like flagrant, sometimes I really can't deal with that because I have no idea who to listen to. But when you're, like, all in person, you can see, like, the facial gestures of people and you can react to things and, like, you're just feeding off, like, the energy that's there and the conversation just flows. Like, we literally did not... I think somebody asked before we started, like, what is this going to be about? And James was like... life is but a dream. You know, you just don't know until you sit down, and then it goes from there. But I think those are the best ones. On top of, I do think ones in person are better than Zoom-based podcasts.
1,000%.
That is true. Because I didn't even know we were starting rolling until I was like, oh, I got Vince from Meza Outdoors. I was like,
that camera's on.
We're going.
We've caught some footage that should not be on camera.
For sure.
We usually we'll start rolling, and it's like
if James sits down,
I might have to clip a minute or two, but that's how I like it. Sit down or rolling, and then all of a sudden it just life is but a dream, though. Shout out to Avenged Sevenfold, Matt Shadows. Legend. I think Matt, one of my goals is if say we do 5 years of Motorcycles Challenge, this is year 2. My buddy Taylor knows Matt Shadows. So
no, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. So one of my goals is to have Matt Shadows eventually do at least a joint at Motorcycles Challenge.
How does Taylor know Matt Shadows?
Their grandpas are good buddies.
They go way back.
So is this one of those things I described earlier, like 2-time divorce, second cousin of,
no,
twice
like
removed
they've
of the Kardashians?
No, like they've bass fished before, from what he told me. Like shared a boat.
Matt Shadows and Taylor have shared a boat.
That's what he told me.
They have met and talked in person.
Yes.
Talked.
Yes.
Spoke.
So one of my goals is to be like, dude,
Talk's the word.
If I can get Matt into archery and just come out and Jack will play 10 songs and just go up and play Seize the Day. Just do Seize the Day. Do one joint for me. That would be nuts,
That'd be
dude.
crazy.
Because Avenged Sevenfold, they're so big now, they like not only headline shows, they headline like festival shows.
Really?
You know, like hundreds of thousands of people. They're that big. Yeah, it's crazy. Because they've been doing metal since, I think their first album... I'm drawing a blank on the name of the album, but their first album with like Backcountry and all that stuff, that was, I think, like 2000. You know,
didn't they just have a new album?
Yeah, Life is But a Dream.
You sent it to me.
Life is But a Dream.
James made it to that concert.
Did he?
For half of it.
It was rough.
It was one of those, huh?
It was rough.
Yeah,
it was. Which I normally don't get in that space, but it was.
He got deep in the space.
I was in the space.
Down in the
past
the gutter,
that
in the trenches?
Yeah, you fell in more, basically.
Yeah. Also,
into the side of the car.
I'm going to put this energy out there right now. Vince is coming to Disciples Challenge too. He's coming. He said he was coming to number 1, didn't come. He's coming to number 2. Even if you're by yourself,
that's what I was just about to say. I'll probably roll by myself, if anything.
That's acceptable.
I probably won't film then. Maybe we'll see.
We'll send someone off with you.
I'll give you a filmer.
I'm still one.
We'll find a filmer that day.
JP Scrubs.
Yeah.
JP Scrubs is a high dollar. He's one of my high dollar interns now.
Intern Evan 2. 2.0.
It was actually funny. Matt, the other day, we're working on the course, and he goes, we need someone, because we're bantering, of course. He goes, we need someone out here filming. He goes, just tell Jack to come and just hold the camera on us the whole time. I go, the problem is, he sucks at filming.
I do suck at filming. No, every time I film for you, I'm like, oh god, this is not gonna turn out very well.
I'll tell you, he's a skilled guy, not at filming. Okay.
I don't know when to zoom, when to zoom out.
We'll send Ted with
it. It really is an art though, like knowing when to zoom.
It is.
Like where to hold the camera, where to all that stuff.
It took me 2 years to finesse it in.
Brianna used to be like pretty like. I'll say like kind of trash for a while, but recently I watch her footage and I'm like, honestly, like of the people that film clips in the group, like she's the best now. But it like came like it wasn't even a transition. It was like one day she was trash, and then like the next day it was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Overnight success.
It really was. But what do you think made the difference?
Now, baby.
What made the difference? Now. Like how did you go from being shit to like
experience?
Experience. That is key.
You know what I will say? I think it was when you got the new camera. They're the same exact camera, but one's newer. I think the old one's trash. I think the new one's works better. And for some reason, you just stand a distance away. I used to like try to get like right behind people and whatnot, and that is not the move. Remember, cameras zoom. So I'll just stand like 15, 20 feet away from what's going on and zoom into it. And that's when you truly notice, like, what a camcorder can do for depth to field. So I was like, oh my god, this looks way better. And I'm such a depth of field person that I was like, nope, we're filming like this every time. Like, if this is the only way I can get depth of field with this camcorder, then that's what I'm doing.
The Sonys are good, though. Does yours have the autofocus and everything?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And that's
the stabilization.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
if you move it
that
around,
is key.
the lens
That
is like
key.
going like this. It's crazy.
Question for
It's
you,
called a
James.
gimbal.
Yes, sir.
I think I filmed 2 videos for you. One at the OG #1 Bow Disciples Challenge, and one on the ship.
And one school project.
Oh, school project,
3.
right. Would you say that there was improvement on the filming between those 3, or would you say absolutely not? All
Okay,
sucked?
so the challenge I felt like was okay.
Yeah.
That was your first one.
Yeah.
The second one was the
No. I think the
first one
the
was
school project was the first.
Was that
one.
the first
I
one?
think it was.
Yeah.
So okay, the school project was okay. The challenge was better. The Navy ship
Was trash.
for some reason he got way worse.
He went backwards.
It was. We're watching the footage. I was playing it through with Matt, editing it. I go, dude, watch this clip. And they were so ass. Like, he'd be zooming on some shit, like, way over there for some reason. I'm like, what is this?
Trying to get some B-roll.
He shadowed me for 4 hours to film this video. I used a grand total of 0 of his clips.
Really? 0?
I don't think I used a single one.
That's funny.
It was so bad.
Oh my
It was
God.
You'll be better in BDP or BD.
BD
What do we
Challenge
call
2.
it?
BDC 2.
BDC 2.
BDC 2. Don't
Yeah.
say that. Yeah, BDC.
What did I say?
Not BBC. BDC.
BBC.
You know.
BDC.
Alright.
What is
BBC
BBC?
too.
Big booty.
Yeah, what does
chicken
that
or
mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's my question for Vince. You know,
Oh no!
hopping-
Okay.
Hopping
Never mind.
back in the
I got it.
game. What's your favorite part about hunting? Like whether it's like a mind state you achieve,
It's a hard question.
the goal being accomplished, being with family, like overall, if you had to pinpoint one thing that's like your favorite part of hunting, what is that?
That is tough. But honestly, I would say it's not even killing or harvesting an animal.
No.
Which, I mean, most people who you talk to or think that's why you're going out there, right? You're going out there to shoot something. To me, it's more than that, the camaraderie. You get to hunt with a bunch of different people. I hunt mainly with family, so my dad and my cousin. And just, I think the disconnect from the real world, I guess you could say, going out there, sitting on the hill, glassing. I mean, as a hunter, you get to see a lot of stuff that people never get to see. Whether it be deer, how they act, other predators, how they act, just stuff like that. Just, I think that's what keeps me really going, is just being out there and, how would you call it, like being in a different state of mind.
I think part of what you're trying to say maybe is just being in the moment. Like, it forces you to get out of your work or your school, whatever you might be doing in life, just go, and you're just in the moment. You're listening to everything that's going on around you. You're paying attention to the wind. You're watching everything. It kind of forces you to be one. Be one with nature. And I'm not, like, I grew up going to church. I'm not a very religious guy, but I think I feel closest to God or, a higher power when I'm out in nature, especially hunting. Like, just, not just, oh God, please let me kill this deer. Not just that.
I've been there before.
Yeah,
please let it all work out.
happen.
Please let it all
Please,
work
God.
out. I promise I won't do anything bad anymore.
But you just feel the beauty of everything. It's really just an incredible experience, and the people are great. Especially like James. James knows this, I'm sure, but in Southern California, the hunting community is very small, but everybody's very tight knit. Everybody supports each other. Obviously, spots are pretty locked down, tight.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like to talk about their hunting spots.
That's everywhere, though.
Yeah, but it's just a great community and great group of people.
I agree.
Especially bow hunting, it's just fantastic.
Dude, I agree. Like being out here, it's wild because people don't really think of like Southern California as like a huge hunting or archery hub. But there are so many guys and so many of my friends that I met through this and doing this since I started posting about it. And I think that is really cool, that sense of community. And there's definitely some frauds as well. But it's like there's so few compared to the amount of really good people. And that's like amazing, It's just like cool to be... It's almost like I've never gone surfing, ever. But I know people that surf, and they're always like, dude, the surf community is just, like, crazy. When you're out there in the ocean with your buddies and, like, holding down a spot, like, they're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, that's kind of how I equate hunting a little bit to, like, maybe surfing. Because, like, the ocean's very, like, you know, you're just, like, disconnected, zen. Hunting's kind of like
that. But
that.
that's what it's like going, like, you know, you leave camp in the morning, wherever that may be, and you go out in the woods all day, and then you come back and, like, especially when you're with, like, a group of people, like, even if it was just me, you, and Ted when we went on the elk hunt, and you get to come back to camp, and it's like, oh, we're going to wash the clothes in this bucket today and hang them out on the line, and then, you know, James is going to make the drinks, or I'll make the drinks while James cooks, and then, you know, Ted starts the fire, and, like, you just, like,
the camaraderie.
Yeah, it's just like this nice zen, like, life completely unplugged from real life. Like, if I could go live in a tent, probably not a tent because I get cold very easily, a small cabin.
You have the kuyu to keep you warm, so it's all good.
Yeah, or other things, you know.
Team Kuyu.
But
right here, don't leave me hanging.
Oh, I gotta crash that. That was crazy.
Kuyu guy too?
Of course.
Team Walmart, my boy.
yeah.
But no, I think that portion of hunting is super cool. Yeah. Just like the connection you build, and also like talking to your point about being like everything slows way down. I have a perfect example of that. I took a buddy, he's actually been on the podcast before, Tim. I took him on this javelina hunt. It was like his first time going out hunting. He had been hunting for years, but we came out and he goes, I can't wait to like learn from you and Tove. It's like 2015 or something. And we sit down, pull up the glassing chairs, put up the tripod, put the binos on the tripod. We're sitting there glassing for like 5 minutes. He goes, what are we doing? I go, this is it. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, no, we're going to be here for like 4 or 5 hours in the same spot. He goes, huh? I go, yeah. And now, you know what his favorite thing to do is, years later? Sit there and glass. Yeah. But you didn't know, because I think a lot of times when you learn to hunt in the beginning, you're so much like, I gotta hike, I gotta go there, I gotta go over there, I gotta go over there. Yeah. I remember even the first time we hunted with Vince, I remember a little bit like, you remember like we would go glass spots?
They do move a lot faster
and they would be wanting to move, and I would just be like, here through the glass, and him and his dad would be like, what is he doing?
It also depends.
Now, did that change how you glass at all? Like watching how much I did it move?
Well,
at all?
Well, we scout that area a lot.
Well, of course, yeah.
And we have cameras up all year round.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, if we don't see the buck that we normally see, we'll probably move in because we know where there's another buck that we could possibly see.
Right.
So we'll stay pretty active. But
it's like your own private lane, you know, like you get to manage it.
But
private?
It's public.
Don't discredit it.
Yeah, it's public. No, it is public.
With limited access.
It's public with limited access.
But see, my pushback would be, even if you know the land, because that's such a big skate, you might not see them your first hour of glassing, but how do you know we're not going to show up at 2 hours and 5 minutes?
Unless you run camp.
There's other factors,
then
though.
You might know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I think you get a good sense of deer pattern with cameras.
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
But the majority of the hunting that I do is up in northwestern Montana, just heavily forested areas. You can't glass. There's trees.
Yeah.
You're still everywhere.
You're
still hunting.
Yeah.
You're hiking. You're finding a trail. You're walking that trail. You're rattling. If you're whitetail hunting, you're moving a lot.
Are cameras allowed in Montana during hunting season still?
Yep, they are.
Maybe
but it's still
Montana.
It's
probably sounds too cold for me, but
it depends on when you go. But yeah, it does get pretty cold. Yeah, it was negative 16 or something a month ago. Yeah.
If it drops below 20, I'm pretty much out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
so much.
I was trying to be cool. I was trying to do
it.
Horrible pour.
I was trying.
Horrible pour.
I just watched you keep pouring it on your leg, though. You just kept going.
He's getting hot.
My thing is, I agree 100%. I just think hunting is super dope. It's done a lot for my life. Yeah. I mean, like, from a work ethic standpoint,
absolutely.
I know I won't be outworked in many things just because, like, I grew up hunting since I was 5.
You went hard, though.
With a bow.
And you put the time in the field. And that's the biggest thing, is time in the field. And I get heat for that all the time. Like, well, yeah, you're shooting deer. You're out there all the time. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to shoot one from my couch.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice if I had a nice piece of property where I could shoot one from the couch, but it's not going to be from here, so I have to be out there, you know? And I get heat for that all the time. Well, you spend all that time out there, of course you're going to shoot a deer. Well, yeah, I'm in the
Well, you
field.
could spend
That's-
more time.
Yeah, exactly.
We had this conversation.
Well, I have a
think, on
different
the last
job.
pod.
Well, you
That's
chose
your-
the job.
That's your career.
You chose your job.
You
You know, like for me, that's a big thing. Like,
All right, then save your money and buy your own piece of private land. You
Mhm.
can spend all your time out there after
Mhm.
work, before work, on the weekends. Like, it's just what you choose to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what, like, it just blows my mind when everyone always makes these excuses, essentially, of like, oh, well, you're lucky that you have that job. Or, oh, well, you're lucky to be able to spend that much time out there. Oh, well, you know, you spend more time than I have to go out there. And it's like, but you choose, what
and-
you want to
and-
do.
and my
It's a
biggest
free
thing-
country.
Yeah.
It's a free
You can
Is
do
it?
whatever you want.
sounds
It
so
is.
simple, but
Yeah, it
Let's
is.
go,
But-
Brandon.
I chose
oh my god, I'm getting canceled for sure. Oh my
Leave
god.
that part out.
I chose my career because I knew that I'd be outside all the time. I'd have opportunities on private land. I know people aren't going to like that, but
I do.
you know,
No, I respect
I
it.
do a lot.
Hunting's hunting.
Amen.
Agreed.
But I do a lot of vineyards, so those guys usually own a lot of
Oh,
acres.
I
they
wish
just,
I did
they
that
just
in
plant
Florida.
a little bit here and there,
Yeah.
and they'll give me access. So yeah, I hunt a little bit of private. I hunt a little bit of public, but the biggest thing is just being out there.
Absolutely.
I've never shot one on the job. I'd love to do that.
Oh,
while I
that'd
was
be
That'd be
working.
fun.
I've
That'd be
seen them
cool.
while I'm on the job.
Yeah.
But it's every time I don't have my bow or my rifle. So what are you gonna do?
Put it in
Run
the
it
truck
over
full
on
of
my
That's what I
quad?
thought.
Run it
Tobey
over on
going
my
like
quad?
this.
No.
Yeah.
Full time, put it in the rig. You know?
hmm But to circle back to what you were saying is like, have we slowed down a little bit as far as like sitting and glassing? Yeah, we've sat longer than we normally do, or we'll hike into a different spot where it's like, okay, we're way away from the roads now, so there's no point in walking back with plenty of light. So we'll sit there till dark. Always have the headlamp. You know, you can walk out at night.
Yep.
Hit the same trail. Always run Onyx, so I
Yep.
know which path I'm taking, so I'm not blasting through poison oak 90% of the time. Luckily, I don't
Oh.
get it, but it's still. Knock
I
on
have
wood.
found
My
I
dad
think
went
knock
on
on
his ass
wood.
with poison oak one night.
Knock on wood.
No shit. Huh?
Yeah, he did. He's on his way to church camp.
Did you say
Had-
died?
My dad. No, my dad.
Oh.
My dad was on his way to church camp when he was maybe 12 or 13 years old, out in Julian somewhere. Had his mom pulled over because he had to go number 2. Goes out, does his business, wipes his butt. Closest bush was a bush of poison oak.
Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, yeah.
No, thank you.
That's, I will say, I wouldn't think close to the beach like that. Oh my gosh. When we went on my stalk right before James went out and a couple hours later shot his,
Covered. in
holy,
poison oak.
we thought we were picking a good route.
Last year was probably the worst I've ever seen it, though.
Oh, I mean, it
'Cause
was
all the
over
water.
All the
my
water.
head. All you could do was like close your eyes, hold your head down, and put your hands forward, and hope that you just push through and nothing touched you.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Mhm.
Dude,
we
actually,
finally came to the opening, and I was like, "We're gonna be toast. There's no
We're
way
done
we're not."
dude, actually, when we were hunting out there, it was crazy, man, because we glassed up one morning. We post up, we're glassing. I saw this massive hog, dude, moving. And I go, I'm gonna go shoot this hog. So me and Brianna, I grabbed my bow. She follows me at the camera. We beelined it out there as fast as possible because I knew I could see he's moving to the thick stuff. I go, we got to get there as fast as we can. Cover the ground. We get over there. He already gone. And I was like, dang it! I wanted to smoke that. He was big, dude. He looked like a black bear, dude. Just like a big old hog.
It's funny.
And I was so bummed, dude, because we saw a bunch of small ones, like
Mhm.
the little tiny ones, but
Mhm.
this one was like probably 200 plus. You know,
Yeah.
he's big. And then my dad and I, you know, like I said, we were hopping them sand dunes looking for the hog, and I shot that buck. And it was funny because Brianna was like, she was a little bit kind of like, why didn't you hit me up to come shoot this buck? And I was like, well,
No, just why didn't you know?
You stole your deer.
well,
man.
a little. Hold on. So a little bit,
No.
but it was. I told her. I said, "What? We were a ways away," but then also, I told her I was like, "At your height, like you couldn't have even shot this buck.
Mhm.
I barely could shoot him, and I'm 6 feet. on dating apps. You know what I mean?
On Tinder.
I'm 6 feet,
Yeah,
right?
he's
But
a
dude,
hinge guy.
I swear,
Hinge guy?
I'm standing
Yeah.
like this, and I'm 17 yards, bro.
Yeah.
All I can see is the tip of his antlers. I had to wait I was there for 45 minutes. Eventually, he walks through a window where I could see the top of his, like, back. So I was able to, like, settle the pin through the grass and hit him. But I was like, I knew that if she was there, you're never getting a shot.
And the grass was insanely tall last year.
Mhm.
It was up to...
I've never seen it that tall.
my
As
throat.
long as I've been to that place, never seen
I
it.
can't imagine what, like, if the rain's been, which I think it has, like, up there as much as it's been down here.
It's raining there now.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like this
Yeah.
summer or you know,
It's
early
still
fall.
green, which is nice.
I will say all three of us are being very pro by just saying up there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
there's
it was
Wait.
like it was like up east, west. You know.
Yeah.
it was over in
that direction.
Actually, over in Maine.
North, central,
we're
in
southern
Maine.
county.
Yeah.
I never say what state I'm hunting anymore.
Well, you're big enough to where people are they'll figure it out.
Dude, I
Yeah.
still get blamed for spot blowing. I'm like,
Yeah.
read the titles.
This guy's got 40,000 subs.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
gonna
Hey,
know.
I don't gotta
Not
worry
so
about
Shout
that.
out to Vince with his 1.6. We got 40. You
I
know.
don't gotta worry about that. No, I've had people like same thing. They message you like, while you're blowing out the spot. It's like, dude, you still gotta go out there and hunt.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you like to hunt from the road.
Vince hit 1,000 faster than I did. I'm pretty sure. Did you
I
hit
was
it
like-
faster in a year?
It was like a year. It was close.
We
to
were
a
a year on the day, like exact.
I couldn't tell you if it was within. It was a year. Yeah, I'd say it was
About
probably
a year, so about
Yeah.
the same.
But dude, I remember like, what, maybe 3-4 years ago, you were at 3K, maybe?
I remember when you hit 10K.
Yeah.
10K was crazy. I remember it well. I
But
was.
I feel like you doing something like this. It was like,
Yeah,
gone.
seriously.
yeah, and it's crazy.
It happened out of nowhere, especially on Instagram
It was-
too.
it
You
was
had a
during
couple
COVID.
reels blow up.
Instagram
During
Instagram was
COVID.
the craziest.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time because I used to be this big proponent of like, I would look at people's Instagrams and I go, oh, they have this many followers, they're only getting this many likes, it's fake. And our Instagram has terrible engagement. But it's not because we bought them, because I didn't. What happened was I went on this hunt, and in a month, we had like, I was posting 2 reels a day. We probably had 20 that were like crazy.
And that's when
One
reels were new.
I think it was the moose shot when you were shooting.
that
Yeah,
one had
the moose shot.
70 million
Yeah.
views. And then we had
Wow.
like a bunch of others with like 5 million. So we were gaining 2,000-3,000 followers a day for a month. And it blew from like 1,000 to like 50. And then a couple more
but
viral
they're
ones
not all
happened. Then it
like
went to
genuine
70.
followers.
A lot of them were from like Iraq and Afghanistan, which is cool. We do have like Middle Eastern followers, which is dope. But a lot of them, I think, were bots.
Mm.
So like our like ratio that we get for posts are way lower than they should be for the follower count. But it's not because we bought them. It's just because like we blew up so fast that it kind of
Yeah.
like inflated. It's like inflation with
Yeah.
money.
Mhm.
It just blew it up too
Yeah.
quick.
But that's like what you see on like the conversation we had with Brittany today on the phone. That's what you see on. I love when you told me that YouTube may be coming out with this thing where you can. So right now, all you see is the sub count on your YouTube. So
right.
you see like you have 1K, subs. You have
1.6.
40K sub, 1.6K. subs.
Attaboy.
James actually is 39.3K.
0.6.
I think I hit 0.4 or 5 today.
I think
We've
it's
been
at-
gaining
I think it's at
100
0.6.
today.
I think it's at
Is it?
0.6.
Is
I
it?
don't know. I'm just going to go.
But so that's what you see now. You have to go to James uses this thing called Social Blade, which if you haven't checked it out, I think you should check it out. Pause now and go check it out and come back and leave a comment and tell me how cool it is. So you go on there and this is what YouTube, it's not going to come from Social Blade, but this is like what YouTube's going to hopefully put on your channels now. And it's going to say your like watch times
Subscriber
or something.
time? No, it's gonna supposedly they're gonna make it to where not only do you see the sub count, but you're gonna see the view count per month as well.
Yes, and
And
so
that's what Social Blade shows. So if you go on Social Blade and type in Meza Outdoors, I can see how many views the channel
so it
gets
tells
per
you
month.
what the channel does.
Yeah,
I can
and
see how many
you can see
views it
anybody's
gets per
channel.
month.
So you can
So-
know if they're fake or not, or if they're not doing it.
Exactly,
Well, that's the
because
thing.
some
Whether you
channels.
bought them or just like say
Mhm.
you blew up through one short or something on YouTube, but just like his Instagram, you blew up on some reels or shorts, but they're not like engaged followers or
Mhm.
subscribers. So you go to Social Blade, and this is what it tells you, like, and this is where I think companies screw up the most when they're hiring, you know, these sponsorships or these deals, or, you know, there's brand deals or paying somebody or whatnot, is they look and you're like, oh my God, you're huge. You know, you got 150,000 subs. You got 70,000 subs.
Check mark.
You got a blue check mark, which I can pay for $11.99 a month.
Well, you can't on YouTube, but
not on YouTube. But so you go to Social Blade. Long story short, and you'll see we did it today. For example, a channel has, I think, about double the amount of subs he does on YouTube.
More than that, like 90,000.
More? Okay, yeah, I didn't know what they had, but so like maybe around 90,000 subs. He's got close to 40,000 subs. So, you know, less than 1,000 away.
Is this a hunting channel?
Yes.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But we did the
1,000. This is a popular number today. 1,600 views a day on their
average.
channel. On average. 78,000 views a day on Bowtech on average.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even huge. It's
different.
astronomically different.
It's not even
That
in the
is
same
So
category.
when you talk
That's
about
great.
engagement and retention of your subscriber count, I don't think the sub number matters as much
doesn't
as
really.
the engagement in your content.
I had someone just the other day. They're like, oh well, you know, this person has these deals and that deal and blah blah blah, but you know they have X amount more subs than you. I said, well, I think you're looking at the wrong metric. I said, give me
Everybody
the channel
is.
name. I type it in. I go, they're getting 2,700 views
You're
on
gonna have to tell
average
me
a
about this
day.
later because I haven't heard about this.
I'm getting 75,000 plus, and
Yeah.
I'm gaining 100 plus subs a day. They're gaining like 4. So it's like it's different, but brands, to her point, mostly just look at the face value sub number.
Because that's what's always been
But
taught.
to me, if I'm hiring someone to say, like, I was going to sponsor someone with like BD merch, right? I would sponsor who's getting the most viewership, not the most subs. Because to me, like, views are really like
views equates to more reach than subs does. Because just because you have a sub, say you have 7,000 subs, does not mean that 7,000 people watch your account. So if we're talking about I have 7,000 subs, but on an average day I don't get 7,000 views, I get 1.6 thousand views. Well, then that's the accurate reach you have.
Well, why do it's very simple.
Analytics are huge.
Why do companies pay so much money to have a commercial on the Super Bowl?
Because they think a lot of people are going to see it, right?
And they are. Like,
exactly.
the Super Bowl's the highest viewed televised event every single year. So you're going to pay to have that many eyeballs on your product.
Yeah.
But with social media, it gets a little bit tricky because, like, for us, for example, if you were going to sponsor Bow Disciples for Instagram, I don't think you should, because that's kind of unfair. You're paying for 70,000 followers, but in reality, our retention's more like 10,000 followers as far as the results we see. But on YouTube, you know, our number's 40, but you're paying for more like 300K subs. Like, as far as, like, if you back
Numbers game.
you know.
Numbers game.
So it's always interesting. I don't know.
And that's not to say that every, like, say, YouTube channel or social media influencer is like that. There are some whose numbers do truly equate to what their subscriber count is and whatnot. But it's just interesting that that's been the trained thought for companies now. And like I said, for some it's accurate and they're signing the right people. For others it's not. And it's like, you're not reaching as many people as you think you are
but
by
see,
doing that.
It's all confusing. This is like more a conversation about marketing, like whether it's like Jack's car wash business or Vince business working on what'd you call it?
A crop cop.
Crop cop. Being a crop cop.
cop.
Right? It's kind of different because you can look at it multiple ways, right? Because nowadays on the social media landscape, there's so many different ways to post, even on YouTube. YouTube used to be simple. It was long form videos only, but now there's shorts, and I use those heavily as well as long form. But someone can have 200,000 subscribers, but if they're only posting one video every 2 months, and I'm posting one every week and a short every day, which one's more valuable? Well, their one video will get more views.
It comes down to like what we were talking about when I was trying to grow my channel. We were talking about every post is like a soldier going out, right? Remember that?
100%. Yep.
It's another chance to connect with somebody,
Yeah.
to touch another viewer, and then, you know, well, like, I got a question for you. what is your percentage of people that watch your videos that are subscribed compared to unsubscribed?
Ooh.
Mine's like 98%.
Oh, dude, it's low.
Subscribed?
Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribed. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
got
It's
2%
about like
of my
that.
people, like 2% that watch.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting the
Are-
algorithm though.
Well, I look at all the analytics. So
It's
that's what it
about
comes down to,
it's
right?
about like that
Yeah,
for sure.
really.
Like our the number of people that watch that are subscribed is low.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
It's like, just hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, just hit
All it takes is 1 second.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think it's fun, and
I
I
feel
think
like the subscribe button needs to pop on the screen right now with the little logo sign.
Yeah, so if you don't already, follow Disciples podcast and Disciples on
Both.
YouTube.
And
Follow
Meza
Meza
And
Outdoors.
Meza Outdoors. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
We need some love. We're not at that
YouTube,
40 yet. So.
Instagram, all the things.
yeah. I mean, I think that I just think social media has opened up a lot of opportunity for people our age
Absolutely.
because you're able to take advantage of it. Everyone has a phone which films in 4K. Like anyone can do it. It's just a matter of can you do it well and can you do it for a long period of time. It's just like the video, we haven't dropped it yet, but we did the video with basically a girl who's a physical therapist and she's doing a video about how to increase draw weight for women specifically. And in that she says training for a long period of time consistently is much more important than training for a short period really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
You're better to stick at it
Consistency.
for a long... And that is...
That's
for everything.
organic,
And is that
Yeah.
not
Anything
true in
like-
everything?
Everything.
You know?
Keep going, baby. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta keep. You know, that's
Yeah.
all you gotta do.
Shout out to Meza Outdoors. So the one video people got to watch, the Coos Deer.
The Coos Deer one's good. Even the California G6 hunt we just did. I mean, I posted that on their G6. I'll probably never draw it again, so whatever. Go watch it. Don't hate me for putting the spot on the map, but you know we did
And
it,
it's
so.
limited drawing.
It's
Yeah, I was
limited
saying,
drawing,
it's likely that anybody drawing it,
It's-
whether you put it on
yeah,
the map or not,
It
is
took
slim
my
to none.
pops
So
like 13 points to draw it, so 13 years. So, and I have like 14 or 15 points. I'm not gonna put it for it because I'm trying to go for the top. I still
For
got
the
a lot.
top tier.
I got a lot of years left to me. Knock on wood. You know, so I'm just gonna keep going for the hunt I want to draw. But you know,
I feel like this question's crazy. I was just listening to a Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz. They had this guy on. His name was Bryan Johnson. And
Okay.
basically, he's a billionaire, and he's pouring all of his money into living forever. So he has all of his diet, all of his sun exposure, all
was
of his
this one
sleep.
talking about like giving his brain 9 more years to live or something?
Exactly.
to
So he
adjust his
ages
posture?
all of his stuff differently. All of his organs, his brain,
Yeah.
everything. Everything he does is to live longer.
yeah,
What do y'all think about that? Like
longevity.
when just like here's
I know what I think.
I'll tell you my thought, and then maybe that'll help kind of round the conversation. But like for me, when I hear him talk, to me it just sounds like someone who's really scared to die.
Yeah.
Which like I am not really that scared.
I think
Oh,
it
we're
sounds
getting
like
deep now.
You know.
I think
Maybe that's because I'm a Christian, possibly, but I'm not that scared of death. But this dude is pouring everything he has into living forever.
you know
What do you guys think about that?
maybe he's pouring all that research and all those things in just for the good of humanity
And that's
as
what
a whole.
that's what he says.
But there's definitely a chance that he's afraid to die. You know, and I think that shit, I'm just here for a short or a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to say it depends on how you live your life, right?
also, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I
no,
totally
go, go,
cut
go,
you
go.
off. I'm 17, so I think I'm gonna live forever.
I'm still tripping out on that.
Yeah, so it's just
Would you want to live 200 years?
I don't know. I've only lived 17 years.
No,
I don't
currently
know.
the way the world is going, I at 32 do not want to live.
You would not want to live 200 years?
No,
I think
don't.
wouldn't you?
Unless I
Immortality
see a
is-
drastic
Depends how life
turn
is
in
going.
life.
But
yeah.
I always say your window on this earth is short. It's
Yeah.
small.
Mhm.
It's not very big.
Enjoy
And that's
it.
why enjoy it, and that's why I always say like the biggest thing is how you treat people, right? So
Absolutely.
that's why I'm trying not to be a dirtball or anything like that, and always try and support people and what they're doing, because your window is so short, and the impact you have it could be big or it could be small. It just depends on how you carry yourself, right? And we were talking about that earlier about I'm still tripping out how you're 17 years old. But, you know, that's the biggest thing is how you touch other people, you know, and how you impact their life. And all it could be is like, hey, you know, I like your shirt, or hey, I like the way your hair is today. Yeah. And they could change somebody's whole perspective on life.
Hold the door open for somebody.
Something so simple, so small. That's all it takes.
Dude, think about this, too, like, to your point. If you drop someone a compliment, you never know. Like, that could have been, like, their darkest day ever. Yeah. You don't know.
Exactly.
And you might have, like, literally changed the path of their whole life just by saying one nice thing. That's crazy to me. So, that's something I always try to do.
Yeah.
Like, when we're at TAC events, she knows I do this, but, like, if I bump into somebody and I seen maybe one of their videos on YouTube, they could have 100 subscribers. I'll be like, hey, man, like, I enjoy your videos. I think it's really cool. You pump out content. And that's probably, like, that's huge to them a lot of times.
For sure. They go home and keep pumping them out. You know?
Exactly. You know? Or you can go, peasant, I've never seen your videos, you little bitch. Like, but what's the point of that?
Yeah.
You're not helping anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't help anything.
I just think that, you know, to round out this hunting podcast, it's just important to be a good person and drop compliments because why not?
Have a good attitude.
It's not hard to be a good person.
No, it's really
I feel like it's harder it's more to go out of your way to be mean to somebody, or
you'll be happier.
Be a hater, like we were talking about earlier, you know?
It takes more effort.
It takes more energy to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess, I mean, you think about, like, the news media, and we were talking about this the other day, like, the news only doubles down on negativity, fear. So, like, obviously people are engaged in that, or else they wouldn't only do that.
But it's just like, you know, you talk to people of different age ranges and whatnot, and again, we don't want to go too far down a rabbit hole, but, like, at my age or your age or, you know, whatever age, social media has become such a widely used thing for anything from advertising, marketing, to, you know, personal use, to life journaling, blogging, to news. It's like, I would probably much rather and especially, like, if you're older, maybe just follow, like, we thought about doing this for somebody, like, maybe just start a page and follow, like, your top news outlets from both sides, you know, left and right, and follow a couple of, like, happy things or inspirational things or something. And that's what I love, that I can go from, like, a Fox ad to a CNN ad to a adorable video of a golden doodle just giving me his cute brown eyeballs, staring, waiting for you to pet him. And it's like, it helps the brain with a lot of different toxins. Like, but when you sit there and pound your brain all day long with the same negative articles over, and I'm talking 5 to 6 times an hour, and then you go to the next, like, it's the same channel, different set of, you know, hosts. Just with a different spin to it, but it's the same topics again. It's like, how many times can you listen to that before you don't realize, but you are, and this is not conspiracy, like, this is just true, like, scientific knowledge, they are brainwashing your way of thinking. And so it's like, you're getting nothing positive, nothing at all, for however many hours of your day that you're watching that. And so how much of your thinking then turns to negative thinking throughout your day when you're not watching news? So it's like, you can get news, just get it from another source. Get it from a source where you can see multiple things throughout your span of scrolling. So that way you're not negatively impacting your way of thinking throughout the day.
And that's true in hunting too. Like, if you go down the niche of just, like, hunting content, whether it's like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like, you get down these rabbit holes of, like, this is the only correct way to hunt. If you hunt this way, you are wrong.
That's why I think, like, the whole backpacking, you know,
public, 8 miles,
land. Public land.
Whereas it's like, no, we're just all
ruck
hunters.
Hunting is the only way you can do it nowadays. It's like, it's not really. I went elk hunting. I saw plenty from a half a mile from my campground. So.
I do wish the hunting community was just a little bit tighter, as far as there wasn't as many haters as there are.
Less infighting.
I mean, we're the only people who have each other's backs. There's so many I won't say tree huggers.
PETA.
Tree huggers or PETA.
My girlfriend's
you
a
know?
vegetarian. That's something big.
Wild when you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I agree.
It
with
is
Vince.
what it
It's like-
is, man.
is.
I'm still gonna hunt. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I mean,
Yeah.
To go off Vince's point, I used to be the guy who, like, if you hunted, private or high fence, or I'd be like, you're so trash. Like, you're not as hard as me.
I think
Like,
high fence is a different thing.
well, sure. Like,
Yeah.
there's a debate to be had, but I don't have an issue with it. I'm not going to sit there and shit on someone who hunts high fence because I don't know their
It depends on where you
story.
live.
There's
It
yeah,
depends
exactly,
on what
yeah.
you have
Ma-
available to you. It
Yeah.
depends on the amount of
That's
time
right.
you have.
Exactly.
If you live in
There's so
Texas
much
and
that
that's
goes
your
into it.
only option, like,
That's what you gotta
who am
do.
I to
You
hate?
pay
Yeah.
thousands of dollars to go hunt public land, to
Mhm.
fly there, to rent a car, to rent vehicle or equipment, or ship your equipment out to you because you can't drive it out. Unless
Yep.
you do drive it out, then the cost of fuel. When you add all of that in to go do a public land hunt, and if the goal is not a trophy, it's to fill your freezer. To go out and spend all of that money to maybe fill your freezer on a very unlikely public land hunt. Or you can use your skills, you can use your knowledge. Maybe it's not as hard because there's more animals, there's more chance of success. Yep, there sure is. It's high fence. Like, that's not a lie. That's
Less
not
pressure.
unstatistical. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
So for sure, you're more likely to maybe get a trophy, but you also filled your freezer and it costs the same amount. So
Yeah.
now you're eating healthier, you're eating cleaner, you got it yourself, you used your skills, you used your knowledge, but that's what was available to you. So I'm gonna go try a high fence hunt for sure.
Mhm.
But, to each their own, not just in your preference, but what's available to you.
Yeah.
So it's like James is saying, or even I think you said it, like there just shouldn't be so much hatred in the community, I guess. If you want to, it just shouldn't have to be all these hardos, that's the way it's got to be
Yeah.
now. You got to be super fit. You got to have an 8-pack. You got to hunt mile. If you want to do that, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And I would love to do one of those hunts one
Mhm.
day. I want to pack my, tent on my backpack and go out and pack the amount of food that I need to do. I want to try it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's the only way. If that's what you want to do, great. If you want to, spot and start, great. If you want to sit a stand, great. If you want to high fence hunt, great. If you want to go to Africa, freaking great. I love to go to Africa. So, I think just everybody should just be grateful of the fact that,
They can go and hunt.
You have an option.
you can.
Yeah.
It's still
It's
legal.
still legal. Yeah, it's still
Exactly.
legal to do.
And that, to Vince's point, is the biggest thing. If you want it to continue to be legal, you got to stick together.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, I've hunted with guides before. I've gone out of state, public land, and not hunted with guides before. It
Yeah.
all comes down to how much time do you have.
Mm-hmm. Time is the biggest thing.
Exactly. So,
Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream.
Mhm.
Time is of the essence.
amen.
Vince,
Appreciate
thanks for
you.
coming on,
Thanks for
bro.
the hospitality.
Banger. Brianna, thank you very much.
Great,
Yeah.
Stevie Daniels.
Yes.
Hey,
So
nice.
good.
I still don't know who
Appreciate it.
Stevie Daniels
And,
is.
I don't
last
need
thing-
it. It just goes together.
Last thing, subscribe to the Bow Disciples podcast YouTube that you're watching this on. Throw, please, 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to Meza Outdoors. If you need a car wash,
JP.Scrubs.
And
on
if you need
Instagram.
social media posts for the U.S. Navy, this is your girl right here. Thank you very much.
And
Appreciate
if you
y'all.
want to go to Bow Disciples Challenge 2 in May 18th and 19th, go to bowdisciples.com and purchase your tickets because it's going to be fun. There's a bunch of giveaways. We're about to announce most all of them.
Jack
if you want to hear
Lane show.
Jack sing, who needs to go on American Idol or The Voice as soon as possible, he needs to do it. Maybe duet with his girlfriend. And
Or if you want to meet me, because
Come
I'm
see
going to
me,
be
you're
there.
gonna meet
If I
Vince.
got to go solo, I'm going
And the
solo.
last thing, Brianna and Whitney are going to host a Girls' Day of Shooting, a total archery challenge,
Yes.
I believe, in Utah. And if you
Yeah.
would like to shoot with
Girls
the
only,
ladies
baby.
only, DM Brianna and set that up.
What if
Thank
you
you for
identify?
watching.
I like that. That's good.